welcome back to another episode of There Will Be Expletives. I'm Geoff.
I'm Ron.
And goddamn, there was not shit to talk about this week. Actually, there was some stuff that I could have added, but there was so little news that what did happen, some of it was talked up so much, like the Mary Jane thing.
Yeah.
Where I was so sick of it, I was like, it has been talked to death, so I purposely took it off the podcast.
Not only that, all week long I noticed, not only was stuff talked to death, but there was shitty articles up, like Nerdist had one titled, Thor Ragnarok, is this our first look at Anthony Hopkins' Odin? I got my first look of him as Odin in the trailer for Thor 1.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know what he's saying, but it was really poorly worded.
Yeah, you know, and then how many times have they played up Hulk going to be in Ragnarok and shit like that now? So it's clearly been a very slow week.
One that they confirmed, like Vin Diesel confirmed the Guardians are going to be in Avengers Infinity War. It's like, oh, really? Thanks for that.
The hell you say?
Yeah. There was a couple of, like, the stuff that I actually have here to talk about today, some of it actually is pretty interesting, so let's go ahead and get started. First up, one of my most anticipated movies of the next couple of years is Blade Runner 2, and every person they have added to this project, be it directing, acting, score, everything has just been on point. Denis Villeneuve, the director from Sicario.
I just call him DV.
DV. He added his composer buddy who did Sicario with him and also apparently did that.
Sicario had some, I mean, it's probably not a soundtrack that you could just drive down the road in your car and listen to, but it works superbly well in that movie.
The border
scene I know.
Is you don't breathe for like a good 5 minutes, and a good chunk of that is how good the score is. So you talk about like subtle, intense score and Blade Runner, and I think it's going to be fantastic. He also apparently scored the new movie, the Arrival movie with Amy Adams and Forrest Whitaker. And Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner's in it too. I want to see that too. I really like that Villeneuve guy. Like, it just takes one movie. And if it's fucking Sicario, it's like, I will watch your shit regardless of what it's about. He added the composer's name that he added. His name is, it's a fucking name for you, Jóhannsson. That's a fucking name for you. And then the other interesting
he sounds like a musician, that's for sure.
The other person that was added to Blade Runner 2, which was also interesting, is Jared Leto.
Tattoos, grill, green hair, shaved eyebrows, and all.
No, but I can almost bet my life savings he will be a replicant.
He will definitely.
Okay, Ryan Gosling and Jared Leto are both in it. One of, if not both of them, have to be replicants.
I would say of those, Jared Leto is definitely.
Ryan Gosling might be, but either way. Obviously, I have been on record. I do not like Jared Leto's Joker, but I don't contribute that really to him. I just don't think he had anything to do, and I don't think it was Jared Leto who decided to put tattoos and shit on the Joker.
Yeah.
So I think I have seen him in Dallas Buyers Club. He deserved his Oscar. He's a really good actor. I did not like what they did with the Joker, but I think he's a really, really good actor, and I think he'll actually probably do a good job in Blade Runner 2. Especially like people are back. Ridley Scott's back producing it. One of the original writers is back on it. Yeah, it's
shaping up pretty well.
It's shaping up fantastically. Like, really could be one of the special movies coming out over the next couple of years. Another movie that should be coming up sometime over the next couple of years is actually a surprise to me. Justice League Dark, which Guillermo del Toro famously been trying to get off the ground for like 2 or 3 solid years.
And why not? That's the thing.
It would have been brilliant, but it kind of went into development hell because by the time
Justice League Dark is probably what we're about to get.
It went into development hell because when they were trying to get it off the ground was back around when Man of Steel was coming out, and they didn't at that point really know what they were doing. Like they hadn't decided.
They still don't.
Well,
as far as
they hadn't laid the groundwork for what they were going to attempt to do.
Yeah.
At that point it was still just Superman. Like Del Toro talked about how Dark was always supposed to tie in with everything else, but they didn't really know how. They probably still are trying to figure out. Like, I've actually read too, it's probably not going to be called Justice League Dark because they don't want to confuse people. It's going to have a different name.
Right.
So now it's actually moving forward, and the main news behind it was the director Doug Liman famous for Swingers, Jumper, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the Firstborn movie, Edge of Tomorrow, which I really liked. I really like Doug Liman. I think he's a good choice for it. But he had to just straight up believe Gambit, so that also ties into this. So what were you going to say?
I was going to say, why, not to get too far off track, why is it that Hollywood just will not let Del Toro work? Like, they didn't want him to do Pacific Rim 2, and he was fighting for that. They don't want him to do Justice League Dark. Who better to do Justice League Dark than Del Toro?
Del Toro Swamp Thing would have blown my mind.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Did
you ever see the concept for Swamp Thing?
For Swamp Thing, yeah.
It was really cool.
My main thing, my biggest draw is Constantine. I fucking love Constantine.
Give me Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan's a pipe dream. I really, really doubt that would happen. But like Ewan McGregor, would kill it. Like there are some Constantine is to me like the make or break actor choice with this. Also, she's already playing Zatanna in the cartoon movie. Make the Tomb Raider girl Zatanna in the movie too.
That'd be cool.
She's a really good actress. I like her. Kimberly Luddington. Yeah. Which was interesting too is back when it was Del Toro, they always talked up for Swamp Thing. Ron Perlman as Swamp Thing would be great. Cool. You can just imagine with some enhancement to his voice, he would crush it in that role.
Yeah.
Now the thing is though, Del Toro was still a producer, so that could still easily happen. So that's a really, really. I would have Del Toro. I mean, obviously he's doing his own stuff. I would have him as a consultant on literally everything because this was a picture perfect project for him.
Yeah.
And I'm sad it's not happening with Del Toro, but they could have done a lot worse than Doug Liman. So I actually think it could end up being pretty good. We'll have to wait and see. Was there anything else? Oh, with Gambit though, I at this point I'll be surprised if Gambit happens.
I thought it was already canceled.
Well, the thing was it's been back and forth so much. It's almost as bad as the Michael Keaton and Spidey thing. Like 1 week, they'll run the news that it's back on. And then we found out they missed the start date, so then we thought it was canceled. Now they're talking like they still want to do it, but at this point, if you can't get a superhero movie made in 2016, you can't even reach a start date.
They just need to focus on Deadpool.
They need to focus on Deadpool.
They need to focus on letting Ryan Reynolds focus on Deadpool. That's what they need to do.
But what they're probably focusing on after Wolverine 3... they are going to be all hands on deck. How can we put Ryan Reynolds into every X-Men property they have? Which I actually think could be a good thing because as long as they don't overuse him, which I liked Apocalypse, I really like Days of Future Past, but to me, Ryan Reynolds could be what makes those movies actually
They are going to be looking at him as the Robert Downey Jr. Basically, he's going to be popping up
all
everywhere.
over the place. But I don't have a problem with as long as he's written well. Just like with
but who are we talking about?
It's true, but I mean, they brought back the guys from Deadpool 1 for the sequel, so
yes,
it just
that was a good call.
At least have them if they let's say they're back for the sequel. Let's say that obviously the next X-Men movie probably will have Deadpool in it, obviously. I would at least have those guys run a pass-through of the script. They don't have to be the writers, but at least give them a pass-through of it. I think it'd really, really help it. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked for it. We're probably talking 20... when is the Batman? Isn't the Batman 2019 or 18, something like that?
I think 2018, I want to say.
Aquaman and Flash are also 2018, 2019, so I don't think we'll see this till 2020. I think it'll probably still happen, but they, rightly so, need to focus more on Aquaman and the Flash.
You think they'll hold it back that long even though it's animated?
What do you mean? Even off the heels of the animated movie?
Well, they usually keep their animated stuff separate from the live action stuff, though.
I mean, the thing is, Suicide Squad 2 also might or might not happen. That's another one they would probably rush quicker than this.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of moving pieces behind it. If Wonder Woman kills and is a really, really big box office success, that's going to get bumped up quicker than Justice League Dark will, I think. So there's a lot of moving pieces.
I'm confused. They keep their animated movies completely separate from the rest of the stuff, though. Is this going to be canon? With the DC Extended Universe?
No, this is a live-action movie.
This is the live-action
This is a live-action
The one
movie.
they said wasn't going to happen?
Yes. That's what we've been talking about the whole time.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, this is the live-action
I thought that was dead. I thought we were just talking about the animated movie.
No. Today's news, the live-action movie.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's how
And Del Toro's not part of it.
he's the producer.
The producer, but not.
No, the animated movie is still happening. The animated movie comes out like next month. This is all about the live action movie. Yeah,
I thought that was dead and we'd never see it.
Yeah, I'm glad you were up to date with our podcast. That's why I was confused. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Anytime I hear Justice League Dark mentioned, my brain just goes to the animated thing because it was such a cool thing. There's no way they would ever do it.
Yeah, no, we are still.
They don't like making money or making people happy.
Yeah, we are still getting the animated Matt Ryan movie. I think it was like September or October. This is probably going to be further on.
My
down the
brain
line.
is fucking blown.
Yeah, so it was blowing up over Twitter. This is a property that people are really interested in. Mm-hmm. It's actually something, very different, which I think can actually help them as long as they
different, but not so much. After how dark BVS was and how dark Justice League probably is.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like at this point they're all 180ing away from that. They want everything to be fun. And it sort of kind of worked for Suicide Squad, but most people hate it. So I don't know what they do.
This could very easily, though, be a dark version of Guardians of the Galaxy, the way everything comes together and stuff. So
yeah, I'm really interested in this.
This could be what they hoped Suicide Squad was going to be, more or less.
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm still thinking Matt Ryan's probably a pipe dream, but go big or go home with Constantine and give me like fucking Ewan McGregor for it.
You didn't fucking tell me this was the live action one again. I just thought it was dead in the water.
Well, I thought it was kind of assumed because we've already seen the trailer for the animated movie. We know that's a thing.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, okay. I didn't know what the big deal in the news was. Okay.
Good job. Good job.
I was just like, okay, I don't know this Doug guy. I've seen one of his movies.
I don't know who's actually directing the animated movie. It might still be Oliva who does most of their stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I'm really curious about this. So while we're talking about the DC animated stuff.
You're welcome. I gave you that segue.
It was all part of the plan. So in the year
there was no plan.
In the year of 2016 that saw such brilliant masterpieces as Batman v Superman and Batman the Killing Joke. Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders might be the Batman we deserve right now.
Yes.
Which is hilarious for me to say. I have zero affinity for the 60s Batman. But if you just watch this trailer, like, this is perfectly done.
Yes, it is
masterfully done.
I can. Well, this is probably going to be their best animated movie lately too. Not just their best Batman movie of the year, but probably their best animated movie in a while.
Yeah, you can check out the trailer. I think we talked about it being confirmed, like, last week. I think we talked about it being confirmed, right?
I believe so.
It popped up out of nowhere, and for them to go from keeping it that low key
to having enough done to have a
trailer, it's pretty cool. When is it? Did they give a release date on it?
I don't know. That's what I was going to look. We have it looped here in the background right now.
Yeah, YouTube it or Google it. You'll find the trailer. It's like a minute and a half long.
The news on it is so new that if you try to look up info on it, you only get info you already knew. You know, you only get that Adam West, Burt Ward, Julie Newmar. The one thing I did see was I forget his name now, the guy that voices the Riddler in Arkham Asylum. He is voicing the Riddler in this. I have yet to hear who's Penguin. It's probably Nolan North, just because Penguin. He's probably doing a Burgess Meredith impression.
So with the Riddler, do you think they're going to do the Frank Gorshin, or do you think they'll do like their own thing?
I think they're going to try to keep the characters as close to the 60s as they can.
The closest thing showing that was that, I mean, obviously you're going to get Burt Ward and Adam West, but they also got Julie Newmar for Catwoman.
That's cool.
So it's really, really cool. I love every single thing I've seen about this. I think it's a fantastic idea. And like, if I'm interested in it and I have zero affinity, like people that are like really into it.
This year is what? Is the 50th anniversary coming on? It was this year, but
yeah, I believe you're right. It's a really good idea. I think people are really going to like it.
And the other news that was around this, I think we said last week, is, and this is supposed to be the last time they get together to do Batman.
I didn't hear that article.
I had heard this is supposed to be their last, like, hoorah.
Yeah.
Adam West, Burt Ward, and Julie Newmar.
Which, how funny. I've always thought that was hilarious. So the guy playing Dick Grayson Robin's last name was Ward. Like, it was almost like meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other cool thing about him is, like, apparently Burt Ward was like a fucking black belt. Like, he trained with Bruce Lee and shit like that.
Yes, he did.
Like, you know, Adam West is like going off set, you know, like just like hitting on women at a bar, and fucking Burt Ward Robin is like kicking ass.
He's basically Kato.
Yeah, he's like actual Kato. Yeah, I always thought that was
Actual
really cool.
Kato, because Bruce Lee wasn't Kato.
Fuck you, you didn't even know Justice League Dark was a thing.
I knew it was a thing, but it was dead, Jeff. It was dead.
was-
Like my hopes and my dreams for DC, it was dead.
You can still got Wonder Woman. You can get a little bit of...
I wish I had Wonder Woman.
Yeah, no kidding. Alright, there was literally no TV news worth a damn. It is blank on the screen right now, just to hammer home how depressing this week's news was, I guess. But speaking of depressing...
On the bright side, though, we do have more than usual news in gaming.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be entertaining. Okay, speaking of depressing, No Man's Sky's second week sales plummeted. Hit me, Ron.
81%.
Okay, this is in the UK, but it's a really good indication on the backlash that has happened because of No Man's Sky.
Oh my god.
The funniest thing I think about this is everyone who actually is quote unquote liking No Man's Sky, I think is just doing it out of their own stubbornness.
Fallout 4?
Well, the thing about it is
That's what it reminds me of.
It reminds me of Fallout 4. I was really let down by Fallout 4. But at least it was a fucking functional video game. This shit didn't even work properly. Like, didn't you say it just crashes nonstop?
It just crashes nonstop. A lot of PS4 users are having all kinds of frame rate issues and stuff like that. So, okay. I said this to you off mic. Games these days are... This is like the age of the console. The games these days are made... for consoles, and then they're ported to PC. Used to be the other way around. And fucking... It's like Assassin's Creed Unity. It doesn't even work on the consoles. And then PC users had their own issues. It got shredded on Steam. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, it was
shredded.
like...
It already has an honest trailer, and it's in its second week.
That's pretty bad. Which, the best thing to come out of No Man's Sky is that honest trailer, because it is fucking glorious. The thing about No Man's Sky, and I actually thought that this is a credit to Jeff from Rage Select, one of the websites that I follow for gaming stuff routinely. He put when he was asked the difference between No Man's Sky, which he disliked, and Minecraft, which he was hesitant to get into, but he ended up liking it for what it is. And I thought he actually made a really, really good point on what I find, and I agree with him after he made the distinction. The thing with Minecraft is they are both a kind of you veg out and just, go build shit or find resources and shit like that. But the difference is, and this is what he was saying, with Minecraft, you have a tangible piece of evidence to show your progress, and let's say you spent 6 hours building a house, you form kind of an emotional attachment to it. Mm-hmm. When the zombies come in Minecraft and they blow up your shit, you're like, well, fuck, I have to spend another hour making that. You're invested.
Yeah.
In No Man's Sky, you are constantly on the move. You form no attachment to literally anything in the game. There are no characters. You mine shit like that. But what do you do with it?
Don't you also have to monitor oxygen supply?
Oh yeah,
stuff?
it's a complete pain in the balls. Depending on the planet, you can just be constantly mining shit to survive. Like they have all these different chemical levels and stuff like that. It's just I don't get it. I didn't get the hype going into it. You and I have been negative on this for over a year.
Yeah, the guy demoing it didn't get the hype going into it. He was about to fall asleep with the controller in his hand in front of the crowd.
They showed in the honest trailer clips about he straight up lied about his fucking video game too, talking about how there was going to be multiplayer. Yeah. There is no multiplayer. Nope. So, as far as I'm concerned, No Man's Sky can go fuck itself, and I'm glad it's doing poorly now.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking it's an interesting concept.
I was going to say, it's a great concept.
It's a great concept that should be...
Nothing about it was executed well.
It's a great concept that should be used as a building block for future sci-fi related games, or world-building games like that. But this in a nutshell, and for $60, you get for $60, you can hit a fucking Steam sale and walk away with the Uncharted collection, Witcher 2 and 3 and shit like that. Yeah. Actual honest to god games. I'm just stunned by this, and I'm a big reason we have that percentage to throw around is because, didn't you say it was one of the biggest PS4 launches ever?
It was the second largest PS4 launch ever.
Oh man, it's just depressing. It's
Yeah.
I'm frustrated. I didn't even use. I mean, we considered renting it just to kind of hate Let's Play it.
Yeah.
They don't deserve our $3 to rent that shit.
No.
There's not a game there.
No, there's not.
There's really not. Even watching Let's Plays of Let's Players I like, it's hard to, like, they're not enjoying it. You don't enjoy watching it. Like, I don't get it.
There's nothing to do.
The reviews, Steam, like you said, crushed it, rightfully so, because it doesn't work really on PC especially, but
it's bad on PlayStation. Imagine on PC.
Absolutely. And most of the reviews I saw,
think Unity had a more smooth launch than No Man's Sky did.
Even the reviews that came out, decent to positive, it's like caveat.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying, like, I mean, it's pretty cool for like a few hours, but this is one of those games, like, there's no end in sight. It's supposed to, you just go on forever and ever. Why, if you have no incentive, would you ever do that?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I hope that the video game industry takes this actually and, kind of moves on from it and then learns that, like, you need some more substance to your fucking game.
What I would like to see happen is someone sees the concept, sees the potential in it, and starts a whole new genre of video game that way. Or, like you said, people learn that there should be substance to the game. You can't just make a game that even stoners don't want to sit around and veg out to. What's probably actually going to happen, because these are businesses, is they're going to be like, oh, that model didn't work, fucking bury it, and you'll never see that model again. You'll never see any game like that again, probably.
Well, we're talking to you about...
Not for several years.
The thing about, comparing it to Minecraft, too, you can pick up Minecraft even when it first came out for like $20.
Yeah. They even said that in the Honest trailer.
Yeah.
They're like, it's Minecraft and something else rolled into one, and they're like, except it's $60.
Yeah. We could literally go on all day, but
Starring
I'm just happy.
rocks.
I'm just happy I don't have to fucking hear about No Man's Sky anymore, because good God, it got brutal there for a while.
I don't know. It's getting torn apart so bad, you may still be hearing about that aspect of it.
I'm okay with that aspect of it. Next up, in the gaming news, this is actually really interesting that also kind of came out of nowhere. The Dualshock 4, the PlayStation 4 controller, is now getting an adapter that will work with both Mac and PC and is fully functional to the point where you will even have touchpad functionality.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty fucking badass. The main reasoning behind this was because they were launching PS Now, their kind of Steam operating system type thing they have going right now. They're launching it, and they need to have the full functionality with the controller. For $25, that's a hell of a deal. How much does it cost to get like a wired Xbox controller?
Well, you have to get just it. You have to go used, because it only comes with an Xbox controller. So you're looking at like $60, $70, because you got to get the controller and the unit. It is cool. It doesn't have complete functionality. It depends heavily on the application you're using, like Steam and stuff. But the Xbox controllers, they just don't feel good in my hand at all. And I was literally here fairly soon getting ready to change up to the... I love Logitech, and they have a wireless one that is built like a PlayStation controller, but all the buttons are Xbox buttons to stay, all your PC games have all Xbox button schemes and stuff. But fuck all that noise. I'm waiting for that unit so I can use my DualShock 4, dude. That is the best game controller I've ever held in my hand.
I agree. It is a fantastic controller.
It kind of makes me sad that DualShock 3 I don't think is compatible, but because I've got some friends that they can't afford a PlayStation 4, they can't afford any of the controllers or anything, but they have PlayStation 3.
What was cool too is I read the DualShock 4 adapter will have to just be a one controller at a time type of thing, but they said it will work concurrently at the same time with a wired controller that you can use with it. So if you wanted to play a co-op game, you can still do it. You just have to have the other wired controller, which is pretty nice. They still have that.
Now I'm assuming this will work like with Steam and everything else.
That I'm assuming so. I don't know if they have given official confirmation on that yet, but I would be surprised if it'll work on both Mac and PC. I would imagine it would be compatible with Steam games and stuff like that.
I hope.
Because it'd be really, really cool to be able to play Steam with the DualShock 4 and not have to go, through back channels to get it working.
Yeah, because that's what you got to do now. You can get it working now, But usually you're buying someone's shitty half-assed software and, trying to round about. And even then, it's usually wired.
And if you want to play like something like fucking Dark Souls, you actually need to have precise functionality with the controller you're using.
Yes.
And obviously, we set that up as a segue to our last news story of the day, which we could also do a whole other podcast on the awesomeness that is the Dark Souls 3 DLC announcement. Ashes of Ariandel.
Yes.
Which, if you are a Dark Souls fan at all, you owe it to yourself to watch the video for it. It's pretty wicked. Looks like we're getting some Painted World stuff. You can hear Epic Name Bros erection from anywhere in the world right now. So yeah, what were your first thoughts when you pulled it up? First of all, I actually knew that we all knew they were going to make an announcement today, but I forgot about it until I pulled up my on my Twitter feed today.
I didn't expect their announcement to be a full-blown trailer.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be like
a blog post.
full trailer like next week or some shit like that. It's just
Yeah.
like boom trailer, and it's a goddamn trailer. Like I'm really stoked for it.
And it's a wicked trailer.
We're finally getting some new weapons. We could have a whole, probably Dark Souls-centric lore podcast, actually, just on how it ties into Dark Souls 1. But yeah, we'll save that, really. If you are into the lore at all, there's a lot of really cool tie-ins to Dark Souls 1. The Lord Vessel was a thing that really got me geeking out over.
What got me, not so much the Lord Vessel, but what appears to be Velka. And you see like the tattered painting and stuff.
Yeah, I think... I could also see... Oh, I like how one of the enemies is like a Viking-looking dude. That's pretty nifty.
That's pretty
I
cool.
like snow levels in games, usually, for whatever reason, especially fantasy stuff. I always like that. Like that. There it is right there. Looks really cool. Right there, it almost looks more like the God of War game than Dark Souls, which, yeah.
Dude, he's even got Sailor Moon's tiara. Did you see that? Like,
they have a spit fire thing where you can use a torch and just light up fuckers with it. That looks rad.
Which in Dark Souls 1 was called Combustion.
My biggest complaint about Dark Souls 3, while I liked it, it's a really good game, I thought their weapon selection was kind of ass, and I like what I'm seeing here. Yeah, I cannot wait for it. I wish it came out a little bit quicker than 2 months, but at least it looks like it probably should be worth the wait. So
yeah, it's going to be fun.
Looks like they brought back Poise because the entire community threatened to just murder FromSoft. I guess that was like the one thing in the mechanics that's like, god damn, people got pissed off about that.
Oh man,
I need it.
I need it now.
I need it. Oh man, yeah, we're just kind of like Dark Souls porno right now. I was like, oh yeah. October 25th.
Yep. Mark calendars.
I need to buy the season pass. This is like the one thing I watch to buy season pass for is FromSoft, because usually their DLCs are really, really good.
Yeah, and it wasn't just like a 10-minute thing in Dark Souls 1 either. I don't know about Dark Souls 2's DLC, but...
Dark Souls 2 had 3 fully fleshed out DLCs to the point where it was almost like a whole other video game.
See, that's cool.
I didn't care for Dark Souls 2 enough to go out and get it.
Yeah.
But I appreciate them actually putting that much of an effort behind it, because most the Arkham Knight stuff was an embarrassment on their entire company.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah. If I had paid the $50 or $60, whatever it was,
fuck that
oh my
noise.
god, I would have been pissed.
The only thing in that was worth it was the Batman 89 Batmobile skin, and I would not pay $50 for that.
Yeah, I'm happy to see FromSoft and CD Projekt Red actually, still making quality DLC out there. I think that's a wrap to the podcast. The quickest podcast we've ever had. Let's go sub 30 just because we can. If you'd like to check us out more, please like and subscribe. That gets you all of our content. In addition to our weekly news podcast, we also do Let's Plays and a special on Game of Thrones right now on the previous seasons. We have social media links in the description below, and most importantly, if you know anyone else that might also enjoy our content, we would really appreciate the share. I'm Jeff.
I'm Ron.
And we will see you guys next week when there will hopefully be actual goddamn news to talk about. Bye, guys.